Hello everyone, the Flying Scotsman here. Welcome to this episode of the Flying Scotsman Christmas. Now, in this video, we are going to be using Microsoft Publisher to make a greeting card. Not an old version of Publisher, we're not doing this for novelty. We're actually going to make an honest to goodness greeting card that I'm actually going to be giving out this year. And the reason that I've decided to do this video is because that is something that I have actually been doing this year. Now, back when I was a teenager, didn't have that much money to spend or time to be going out picking up cards for various and sundry different occasions. I would just use my computer and my printer, which I've had a few printers over the years, Lexmark 2030, HP DeskJet 670C, and then more laterally an HP DeskJet 916C. I've been using these to actually make my own greeting cards. One time I used to use Microsoft Picture at Photo 2002. Then I moved on to just using Microsoft Publisher. And, my mum always said that she liked my computer-made cards. So this year I thought that I would do that once again. Not only have I done this for people who have given cards to this year, but I've also done this for Aberdeen Action on Disability. Last couple of years, actually, I've made the Christmas card. Just something that I enjoy doing. I've always enjoyed using the software that was that would have been known as desktop publishing back in the 90s. Yeah, I've always enjoyed doing desktop publishing on the computer, and I guess I still do. I do quite a lot of computer art things over the course of I just generally tend to do a lot of computer art things. So, without further ado, let's get to it. So, what we're going to do is we're going to make an A4 folding card, and the way that we're going to do this is we're going to go to New. We've opened Publisher. We're going to go to New. And we're going to go to more blank page sizes. I've decided that what we're going to do is we're going to start off with we're going to do this from scratch, okay? Because I'm not too keen on a lot of the designs, and to be honest, I can make this. I can make my own designs that I prefer. And it's a bit more personal if I'm using one of my own designs. If I'm just using the pre-built ones, yeah, I've got a degree of customization. But what's the difference between that and Moonpig? So, what we're going to do, we're going to go to Publication Types, and we're going to go to Greeting Cards, and we're going to make a half A4, I think, side fold. Sorry, no, we're not. That's not what we're going to do. We're going to make... Oh, Jings. Jings. Okay. There we go. A4, half A4 side fold. Yeah. So this is basically just a standard sheet of A4 folded over. And what we're going to do is, obviously, we're going to be wanting to print on both sides of it, because that's how cards generally tend to work. And we're going to be able to do that quite easily, I think, because my printer is a Hewlett-Packard OfficeJet Pro 8024, and one of the things that it has is a duplexer, which means you can print auto-magically to both sides of a page, which is going to be very useful. So, we're just going to go to Create, automatically insert pages, a publication layout, prints pages in groups of 4. You have 1 pages in your publication now. Click yes to automatically insert 3 pages. Click no to continue without inserting pages. Yes, I do want to do that. So here we go. We've got the basic card template now. So who is this card for? Well, this card is for Izzy, actually. You've seen her in a couple of my videos, and she has been spending a lot of lockdown with me. So I wanted to I want to make her a nice Christmas card. In addition to her Christmas present, I've actually bought that. So yeah, I'm not just going to make her a card and be like, there you are, fuck off. Anyway, let's first thing we're going to need is a picture. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to look out a picture, and I will be back once I've put that in. See, now I thought this would be the perfect picture. This was actually taken last year. So this was we had a weekend away in Edinburgh. Izzy had went down a few days beforehand to see a few friends. I stayed in Aberdeen because I was running the Retrofest Christmas party last year. So as soon as that was over, I took the train down to Edinburgh. Seems like such a long time ago. It seems quite strange that I was able to do that now. That's quite sad. But yeah, that's what I did last year, and we had a lovely day. We went round a few museums. We started off. We had breakfast at this Italian place that we found. Then we went round a couple of museums, and then we had fly cup and a piece, and then we had to finish the day because I was going on to visit my parents in England, and Izzy had to come back to Aberdeen. So that's but before we did go, we took this lovely wee picture, and so what I'm going to do is I'm going to put that in a card. I mean, I know some of you will realise that what I'm doing is completely wrong. I mean, why should I have a picture of my face on a card? I mean, mechty me. I mean, I don't want to scare Izzy now, do I? So, season's greetings. I mean this kind of mug is better. It's better as part of a Halloween decoration. But you know what? I'm a computer scientist, so I will naturally get Oct 31 and Dec 25 mixed up. So yeah. Anyway, so what we're going to do is I'm going to crop this so it actually fits within the confines of the card. Let's whoops. Right, we don't need the rest of that shop or stairwell or oopsie or anything. So let's get rid. If I can even grab the cropping handle. Come on. Right, let's try this again. Had it. There we go. There we go. So excellent. Oh, I think what I'll do maybe is I'll give. There we go. So I've just realised. I think what I might actually want to do is do a top fold. So I think we're going to go do that. So what I've done is I've actually copied the photograph in its cropped form to the clipboard. So what we're going to do is we'll just go and make a top folded template. There we go. Right, excellent. So again we have the original photograph. Now So now this, yeah, it would look all right. I could make it. I could make it fit. What I want to do though is I want to make it look a bit nice. A lot of Christmas cards I tend to have things in a wee circle, like you have a wee circular kind of surround. So that's what we want for this photograph. You can do that by going to Picture Tools, which is a tab that will appear on the ribbon when you click on a picture in Publisher. And we're going to go to Picture Styles, and we're going to click on Soft Edge Oval. So there we go. I think that looks... I think that looks quite nice, actually. That looks very festive. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to extend this out... I'm just gonna tweak this a wee bit. So, because obviously I want something. I want to put a wee greeting on the front of the card. So obviously I want the room to do that, and I obviously want to try and center that. So, yeah, I think there we go. Now, for the greeting. Well, let's use a wee bit of word art. Now, I've used this a lot this year, this style. So, I'm going to go to Insert and then Word Art, and then I'm going to start with this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put Merry Christmas, Izzy. Because I can make it, obviously I can personalise it. Now, that font's just not going to cut it for a Christmas card. So, let's see what we have. There are a few nice fonts that I do have access to. Something like that, but that's not bad, but yeah. That's not what I want. The kerning's completely off with that. I don't know what happened there. Right, none of the Helvetica ones are gonna... There we go. That is beautiful. So, oops. So, what we're gonna do is we'll put that here. Let's center it under the picture, but we'll change the font size. I could resize it with the sizing handles, but that could knock the aspect ratio right off, and that's not something that I'm wanting to deal with. It's 7:15 in the morning, and I've not been able to properly sleep. So yeah, no. Anyway, let's. So we're getting there. But I think we could stand to go a wee bit bigger. Perhaps a little too big. Yeah, that's. I wonder. Maybe. There we go. I think that should be fine. So we have, and what we'll do, because this is an outline, what I think we're going to do is we're going to fill this text in with green. There we go. Now it looks very festive. Nice. So, now we want to stick a salutation in there. Now, with this one, I am actually just going to use a normal text box. And again, I want to look for a nice font, something There we go. And I think we'll have a nice kind of maroon type. So, dear Izzy. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to make this big. And I am going to... That Z looks horrible. What I'm going to do is I'm going to take some time to write a nice salutation. And so what I'll do is I'll just draw another text box for the salutation, because I want to have that nice and centered. And actually, before we do go, what I will do is we'll align the text. Now, normally in a word processor, you can left align, right align, center align, right align, or justify. In Publisher, you have the option not to only horizontally align text, but you can also vertically align it as well. And if you've ever used Moonpig, which allows you to create greeting cards, like make custom greeting cards, you'll notice that that option is available on there as well. So, what I'm going to do, instead of having 3 buttons, you've got 9 for all the different alignment types. So for this one, we're going to center it both horizontally and vertically, so that once we're done writing it, the verse is going to appear in the middle of the card, which will look quite good. So I'm going to get that done. So I've made a wee verse, and just put a wee thing up at the on the inside of the front page as well. So for the final wee thing, I've just put this wee thing on the back. It's something that I've done with all of my other Christmas cards, my personal Christmas cards, by the way. So with that, I think the card is now finished. So what we want to do is we want to get it ready to print. So let's go and do that. We're not just going to be printing this onto normal paper. No. In order to make an effective, a nice greeting card, we're actually going to need some, we're going to need card. So what I have here is something that I got on the internet. It's 50 sheets of 160 GSM cards. Now, this card stock is a wee bit thin, if I'm going to be completely honest. Would probably lend itself better to a quarter A4 card rather than a half, but it does work. So with this printer, I'm able to have it duplex automatically, like I said, and I know that this corner is a wee bit dog-eared, but apart from that, it should be okay. So what I'm going to do is I'm just going to put this piece of paper in. Printer will probably ask me what kind of paper I'm using. I've actually found that you really don't need to change any of the settings on this printer. So let's go back to the computer. So while we can print double-sided, we actually need to tell the computer that that's what we want to do, and we need to tell it on which side you would flip the page over, because we don't want the inside of the card to be printed upside down. So what we need to do is we need to go to File and then Print. Now, Publisher is quite good in that it will actually show you what your printout is going to look like. Now, at the moment, does this look anything like? Well, not really, if I'm honest, because that would be the front side, that would be the back side. That's not what we want. Well, first of all, we want to print on both sides, and I think for this one we want to flip on the short edge. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to try booklet top fold, and yeah, that looks more like something that we would want. And then that's what we want for the so-called backside. The backside is actually going to be the inside of the card when it's folded. So what we're going to do now is we are actually going to send it to print because I'm quite happy with it. So let's send it to print. So what it'll do is it will print the one side, and then it'll take it back in, and then it'll print the other side. And there you go. So that's kind of what it looks like. So as you can see, it did print exactly how I wanted it to. So you've got that is on one side and that is on the other. Now it does kind of look a bit complicated at the moment, but once we fold the card, which is what I'm going to do now. So there you go. You've got the front of the card, you've got the back of the card, and then if we open it up, I've got the wee notice on the inside of the front, and then I've got the salutation, the verse, on the inside of the back, and then the card would prop itself up like that. Nice. So that's the card done then. And just give it to Izzy and call it good. Yeah, about that. Not quite. There is one other thing that we need to do, and that is to put it in an envelope. Now, I could just write Izzy's name on the envelope, put the card in, and call it good. But while we've got the computer switched on, why not make a fancy label for the envelope as well? Now, you might be thinking, Jay, my printer only does A4. Well, that's maybe kind of true, unless you got an A3 printer. Oh, you lucky flashy person, you. But what that means is your printer can do various sizes up to A4. Which means it can do smaller things like envelopes. Now, the kind of envelope that we'd be needing for something like this would be a C5 envelope, which will fit a piece of A4 paper, or a piece of A4 card in this case, folded in half. So what we want to do is we want to put it into the printer. Now, in order to do that, we do need to adjust the guide so that the printer actually prints on the envelope properly and doesn't cause anything to go skew-if. So on this 8024, I found that the best way to achieve that is to take the paper out, put the envelope in, and then just move the guides so that they fit the envelope snugly. There you go. Now, what you want to do, and this is especially important if you're actually mailing it, you want to get the top edge, the edge where it opens, on the left. You want to put that so that the opening edge is facing left. And there you go. You just kind of put that in the printer and it should be ready to go. So, now we're back on the computer and we're going to design this envelope that we're going to print. Now, I could use Microsoft Publisher, but I've actually decided to use Microsoft Word. Now, what we're going to do is we're just going to go into a blank document here, and you may notice that the page will be an A4 layout. I realise also that I'm using A4 and B5 and what have you. I'm using these international measurements. Sorry, America, you've kind of been left out a wee bit on this one, but I'm sure you'd kind of know what to do, you know, if you have like half letter size envelopes and cards and what have you. But anyway, this is an A4 sheet in this document. That's going to be no good to anyone. So we actually need to change that, and we can do that by going to the Layout tab on the ribbon. We need to change the size of the paper, and we can go down to envelope C5. So there it is. It's Microsoft obviously know that people are going to be stupid enough to print things onto envelopes like addresses. Oh wait, that's what's done in the professional world. Anyway, moving on. That's fine, but the envelope is still in portrait orientation. We want to do that in landscape, so we'll change the orientation to landscape. And then what I'm going to do is I'm just going to double click where I want to type on the document. And you may notice that the I-beam can change. So if you hover here, you've got an I-beam with what looks like the icon for left aligning text. Here you've got the icon for what looks like center aligning text, and we're back to left aligning, and then we've got right aligning. So that essentially means that if I was to double click anywhere, like round here or wherever, if I was to double click here, it would left align the text to the where I'd put the cursor. Here it would center align, and there it would right align. Obviously, I think you can change that a wee bit, but that's what it would default to. Anyway, we've got the cursor somewhat in the middle of the document, and it's center aligned. That's perfect. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to select another nice font. This time I'm going to use Blackadder ITC, which is the font that was used for the Blackadder title card. For anyone who used to watch Blackadder, it's a pretty funny show. And we're going to make it nice and big, and we're going to type Izzy's name. So let's do that. There we go. Now what we're going to do is we're going to jazz it up a wee bit. So we can use text effects and typography, and we can give the text a different coloured outline. So we'll make that green, and then we'll fill it in red. Perfect. So what we want to do now is print it out. So we'll just go to File, Print, and it's already set the paper size to envelope C5, and we can preview it. This is what it's going to look like, and actually I've decided I maybe want to shift it down a wee bit, so I shall. So once again, just go to Print, and that looks fine. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to send that to print. And there we go. Got a nicely designed envelope. And what I can do is I can now put this card into the envelope. Whoops. Apparently I can't do it like that without it going all wrong. Now what's good about these envelopes is that in the age of the human malware, I'm not going to need to lick them, and instead they have a sticky strip. So I'm just going to take this tape off, and then I can just stick that down, and there we go. And Christmas card. Absolutely fantastic. So, that's a Christmas card made for Izzy. So, with that, I will conclude this video. I hope you've all enjoyed watching it, and I hope you will all join me for my next video, the next episode of The Flying Scotsman's Christmas. So, thank you all for watching, and please join me then. Cheery, bye.